It was one of the tougher boss battles. It took me quite a while to figure it out, but I want to help you save time, and here's how. So for your loadout, you're going to want to get a double-bladed stance for number 1 slot, and for your number 2 slot, you're going to want to have the crossguard stance. So now we're going to discuss the crossguard skills required. You're going to be using the crossguard in this strategy guide for literally the whole entire fight. You may switch to the double-bladed skills once, but ultimately, most of the fight is going to be using the crossguard stance. So here are the skills required. You're going to need the Rolling Thunder. You're going to need Rending Strike. You're going to need Greater Impact. You're going to need the Charged Reflection. And last but not least, you're going to need the Greater Cleaving Swing. Now for the double-bladed skills, these are optional. You're only going to need the multi-fold reflections. So when he starts shooting the blaster shots at you, you whip out the double-bladed lightsaber and you reflect them back, and then switch back to your crossguard as soon as possible. Alright, so those are the required skills and stances, and let's just talk about phase 1 moves and phase 2 moves, and then we'll go over the strategy. So for the first moves, we have the double overhead swings followed by an unblockable overhead mace sling. To dodge this, you're going to utilize 45-degree angles. You're going to stay slightly out of range to avoid the first attack, and then you're going to dodge into Rayvis using 45-degree angles to slide underneath, and then utilize another 45-degree angle to slide in close for your final counterattack. Now after dodging and getting into position, you should now be in perfect position to counterattack. You can use the Greater Cleaving Swing, Rending Strike, or a regular attack for a follow-up. The next move Rayvis does is the side swing wind-up center line throw followed by a roundhouse ball kick. To dodge it, it's really easy. You can just simply block it, or you can dodge twice into Rayvis using 45-degree angles. Usually blocking is the best and safest method. After blocking, you should be close enough for a counter attack. You can either use Rending Strike or a normal attack. For number 3, we have the lunging swing, spinning back mace, uppercut, unblockable overhead mace slam. To dodge this, you're going to utilize 45-degree back angles, stay slightly out of range to avoid the first, second, and third attack. And then for the unblockable, you're going to push into Rayvis using the 45-degree angle for perfect counter position. Now for your counter attack, you should usually use the Greater Cleaving Swing for a nice follow-up. This move is not blockable, but it is one of the moves you have to know, so it is the Rocket Pods. The most consistent and best way to dodge the Rocket Pods is to jump up once, maybe delay twice, and then slide out of range of the Rocket Pod indicators. Usually this position ends up in a neutral, which means that basically there's really no counterattack and it isn't worth the time, so just play it out and reset. For number 5, we have the uppercut mace hook into the unblockable mace ball throw. So to dodge this, you can either block or dodge at 45-degree angles, and for the last unblockable, push in or push out depending on your read. Counterattack, if you're close, use a Rending Strike or a normal, and if you're far, use the Greater Cleaving Swing. One of the last moves you need to be aware of is the blaster shots. To dodge this, you simply want to block and deflect the shots back to him. Your main counter will be to deflect the shots back to him for damage. Now we're moving on to the unblockable starting moves. First off, we have the overhead mace throw. Now to dodge this, you're going to run slightly right, and then you're going to dodge into Rayvis at the last second. For your counterattack, you can choose the Greater Cleaving Swing, the Rending Strike, or a normal. Another unblockable that Rayvis does is this overhead mace swing spin around, and that's another unblockable. To dodge this, be aware of your position after your counterattack, and usually you can jump up and evade to get out just in time. To counterattack, you'll usually be at range, so Rolling Thunder or Greater Impact will work good. Alright, now that finishes the move set for phase 1. We'll be moving on to phase 2. Alright, one of the first moves that you'll see is the running grab. To dodge this, you're going to run slightly away. Notice that it leaves a huge opening, and this is actually going to be one of the most important moments in the second phase. You'll find a huge opportunity to counterattack when he's running at you if you time this correctly. This is one of the most important moves and the greatest opportunity. This will prevent him from regenerating his health, which can get very annoying. Once he's within range, use your greater cleaving swing majority of the time, or if you need to do another option, you can do the jump aerial attack as I just showed you. Always make sure to escape after hitting, or he will grab you and it will do a lot of damage. The number 2 unblockable is this lunging poke you see here. To dodge this, you're usually going to want to do a dodge, dodge, or a jump, jump, dodge. Now to counterattack, most of the time you're going to want to stay out of range and wait for the next move. If you have good resources, you can always throw in a saber throw. Now the last unblockable to be aware of is he'll miss his swipe and then he'll go straight into a mace throw. Just something to be aware of. Now to dodge this, you're going to want to stay out of range, wait for it, anticipate it, and then dodge right or left, 45-degree angle like shown previously. Now to counterattack, you can use a saber throw, a greater impact, or a greater cleaving swing. Ideally, you want to get in position to hit him with a normal so you don't have to waste force here. Now for phase 2 blockable starting moves, we have the blaster barrage, retreat, blaster missile barrage, running blaster barrage, backhand. Now to dodge this, you're going to deflect the blasters, jump, evade the missile barrage, deflect the blasters. Note that you can actually add in another parry. While you're holding block, let go of it slightly and block again and you'll deflect the blasters. Then wait for him to run at you with the charge, deflect the blasters once again, and then hold your guard or evade when he does the backhand. Now to counterattack, you're going to deflect most of the blaster barrages. You're going to wait for the end of the sequence, wait for that backhand. You can parry the backhand, or you can dodge and do a normal attack. Now for number 2, we have the mace swing, long mace swing, long mace swing, followed by an unblockable overhead mace slam. Now to dodge this, you're going to want to stay out of range for both mace swings, dodge in towards Rayvis at 45-degree angles for both long mace swings, and then try to stay out of range for the overhead. The reason you stay out of range is because usually he follows it up with an attack like this. Usually after a good counter hit, Rayvis will respond with this mace swing spin, backhand mace swing. To dodge this, you're going to want to dodge, dodge, jump, dodge, and stay at a decent range to get ready for a counter. Now to counter attack, you're going to do a jump in aerial attack or a greater cleaving swing. This is a very common attack. It's the spinning flurry mace hook, and that's number 4. Now to dodge it, just simply stay out of range, wait for the right moment, and get ready to jump in. To counterattack, jump into a greater impact, he'll be staggered, jump attack for the final finish. Alright, so that covers the entire phase 1 and phase 2 move list. Now we're going to go into live commentary strategy of how I was thinking on my feet against Rayvis, and here we go. So I enter in, I leave the regeneration there, I see the first move, immediately jump in at a 45-degree angle, go for a greater cleaving swing, dodge a dodge, go for another greater cleaving swing, get out of range, look for a counterattack. I'm getting constantly close looking for counterattacks because I know the whole move set. So I'm waiting for those power-ups, getting the greater cleaving swings, trying to utilize my stems because they do have force regeneration. So every time I use the stem, I get a little bit of force. As you see right here, I went for the full regeneration to get my full force back. That's why it's helpful if you just leave that there at the start. Now, I'm looking to utilize the force as much as possible. Get these big hits with the greater cleaving swing to get him into second phase as fast as possible. As you see, it's a lot of greater cleaving swings at range to get a nice big hit, and utilizing the charger deflection right there, getting another greater cleaving swing, a jump in aerial attack, nice 2 dodges, getting close, getting 45-degree angle dodges, getting quick hits and getting out of there. Dodging underneath, got a nice quick side. What was that? A rending strike. Now I'm in phase 2, and let's go over this overview real quick. So now it gets a little bit intense. Rayvis gains his full strength. He gains full health regeneration, so you got to put a lot of pressure on him. If you give him any room, he will regenerate. You will have wasted your force, and mathematically you will be at losing odds. And because of the way of this game, you will have lost most of your stem regeneration, and it just puts you in a losing position. Therefore, you need to stay pressure, find the opening, wait for him to charge you, and use those rending strikes, use those greater impacts, use those saber throws, use whatever tools you have available. But most of the time he'll be charging at you, and that's when the greater cleaving swing will be of most value to you. As you see here, we're doing a jump in hit, nice quick little jump ins, just trying to maintain that pressure, trying to get good damage. Right here, you see this opens up into a 2-hit sequence. Now it's turning into a 3-hit combo, and then it turns into a 4, 5, 6, and then almost a 7 combo right here. Wait for it. He's going to get a little bit. Yep. And then we do a greater cleaving swing again. As you can see, there's little opportunities once you memorize the move set that will allow you to find the opportunity to get good counter strikes. And that's what the guide was for. That's what the guide was made for, to help you understand when those opportunities arise, what are the best moves to use. You don't have to memorize all of it, but it's helpful to just be aware that there's certain options for each situation, and that way you will be able to make the best move in the situation. And as you see here, he charged me, but because I understand the game, I now use the greater cleaving strike to cancel out his full unblockable charge, and now we have won the game. Now I'm going to include the uncommented live gameplay so you can kind of understand what I just showed you, what I'm thinking, but without the commentary. So you can understand and absorb the information subconsciously, so you can see how I played it, and so you can see my previous commentary, everything that I was trying to communicate with you, how it all forms into becoming just a Master Jedi and a beautiful display of Jedi skills. So I hope you enjoyed, and here is the full uncommented gameplay for you. So there's the full fight. I hope you enjoyed this game strategy guide, and I have this other strategy guide with Ogdo, Bogdo, and the spawn of Ogdo in the videos right here for you. Make sure to subscribe for more helpful videos like this in the future. Thank you so much for the support, and go watch this guide for more help. The ballers!